get Jumper out of the tank. Not
Little help here.
Yeah,
Sure.
so Jack was going to go over to the ladder.
Actually, I wouldn't know that they're not still fighting the thing, so I guess I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
You
Sorry,
probably hear
never mind.
you probably still hear like the sound of violence stop a little bit, but yeah.
So, well, with that in mind, I'm not shouting anything actually.
I still stop and turn and return to the opening of the tank and try to help Jumper get out.
Is she gone?
She fled
Into the woods.
I'm sorry, fled?
faster than I've seen any biped move.
Where did she go?
Generally point in the direction of the woods. That way.
Oh, is Jumper still catatonic?
She's starting to come around. She's starting to kind of regain her senses some. Like now she's out of the tank and the thing is gone. Like the fresh air is helping. The being out under the stars is helping. Maybe it was claustrophobia. Maybe it was the thing. Like who knows? But she wasn't prepared to be down there.
So we were helped out of the tank already. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't clarify that. Okay.
Oh yeah, you're not in combat anymore. The roles are much easier now that you're no longer like in danger.
You realize we can't just let that thing run off out there, right?
Yes.
Everyone realizes that, right?
What thing? Where did the lady go?
Yeah, okay. So,
We got to start tracking her.
she anywhere near the road? Did she come in? Can we track her? I'd feel a lot better about tracking her in a car. In our car, not in, say on foot. I don't want to track her on foot.
Well, she ran straight into the woods.
Yeah,
Sounded
I think the woods is a little too dense for a car. Maybe if we had some all-terrain vehicles.
You have an SUV, like you have a black SUV type of vehicle.
Can I roll to see if there's a way we can drive through the woods?
I'm not gonna do a roll. Like it's possible. It's gonna be hard. Like driving through the woods is gonna be hard in any vehicle, even like a dirt bike or something.
Right. So, but there's no pathway because
Nah, she's just running through the wilds, for lack of a better phrase. Like she took off into the woods running.
Okay.
I think we'd probably have a hard time with an SUV in there.
Well, most any like woods that I've owned usually had pathways that could accommodate like a pickup truck, but that's not necessarily the case if they're not, being utilized. So, all right, Jackal, I want my shotgun back.
Here it is. I got a carbine in the truck.
Well, you go and get that. I want my light back too.
Here it is. I've also got some
Thank you.
like energy bars in my duffel bag. Should probably give Jumper one of those to kind of help her come to a little bit.
Wait, how badly are we hurt?
Well, I have 13 of 15 hit points.
Yeah, I have 9 of 12. So, like, am I like bleeding? Like, what?
It's kind of up to your own edification at that point. Like you took some damage, like maybe you have a cracked rib or something. Nothing aggressively detrimental.
Okay.
You're within kind of what I'd refer to as kind of normal agent damage for that type of encounter.
Is there a way to regain
There
HP?
is. If someone has first aid.
Actually, I think I might.
I have 30 first aid.
I also have 30.
Yeah, so whoever has the highest one or wants to can perform first aid on. You can do this kind of once per pounding, for lack of a better phrase.
I think Jumper had a first aid kit.
Yes, I did have a first aid kit.
Do you have the first aid skill?
I'll hold out the first aid kit to you.
Our woman friend
I
is
have it.
a horrible monster. Hate to break it to you, Jumper. I'll perform first aid on the group wherever it's needed, if that's kind of how that works.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to do rolls per person. So let's see. Okay.
52 out of 30 was a failure.
Yep.
Do you want me to roll now,
Does that
or
mean
is
first
he
aid
rolling
kit,
again?
he's
give you any kind of bonus?
Oh no, so yeah, so failing that makes it detrimental. Like you don't get off scot-free. I'm making sure it's not a critical for how much of a damage it does to that. It's not a critical something it does anything super.
Wait, if we fail a first aid check, we hurt the person?
You can hurt the other person.
And does having a first aid kit give them bonuses?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up for you right now. Don't know that stuff off the top of my
Okay.
head exactly. There's enough rules. I can't keep them all in my skull at any given exact point in time. So you're gonna have to look up
I'm
stuff every once in a while.
very surprised at the number of rules you have committed to memory. I'm going to be perfectly
It's-
honest.
You play a bunch of it and you pick it up. All right, so just doing some basic treatment.
And who is that roll to? Yourself or me?
So it's him attempting it. So yeah. So not resuscitating or that's not that one.
She
Yeah.
made Jumper go crazy.
So I think it's
Let me
1d4. Yeah, 1d4. Yep. So the failure, you'll make it worse. So every success. So the first success was on who?
First success was on Jotun.
All right. So you get to recover 1d4.
Wait,
I do.
what do you
Attempt the kind of first aid again on that. Who else is going to attempt to be first aided?
Jumper?
All right. She didn't take
I
any.
just went crazy.
Yeah, then how about myself? I took.
You can first aid yourself. So it hasn't.
Okay. Can't
I know
really
it looks like a lot of damage on the character sheet because it is a lot of damage. Tyson.
Where do you think it is by now? We've just spent this time repairing
Yeah,
ourselves.
I'll say like 5-10 minutes have passed. Like there's a whole set of pursuit rules that are kind of like combat, but she's gone enough that you can't do that just now.
So this is essentially would be tracking.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
All right, so unless we think we can get to her by car, we have to go after her on foot. We have to at least make an attempt. Would everyone agree?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, we got find the old lady.
All right, it's not an old lady. It's some sort of
Yeah, and Jumper, you
horrible.
saw her. You went crazy temporarily because you saw the creepy corpse lady. Like you're aware something's up. Maybe not the full extent of it, but you didn't totally blank out. You more just kind of suffered a break.
There's just something wrong. Really, really wrong.
Yeah, I came to very much the same conclusion.
All right,
Let's,
so I'm inclined to go get the carbine from the truck. I got some other gear in there, some magazine. Kind of mount my flashlight back on the carbine and
Sure.
kind of suit up a little bit. Brought some of my security guard gear with me.
I'll go into the woods and start looking for a trail.
All right. That's got to be a survival check. Very nice.
21 out of 30.
Very nice success. Yeah, so she's not being especially stealthy. She was just kind of running. So there's a bunch of like broken stuff, branches and snap twigs and stuff like that. You feel following her will be pretty easy until she kind of changes up tactics. Y'all head off to follow her?
Yeah, as long as everybody's ready.
I'm ready.
And off we go. Following the trail.
Yeah. All right, so you kind of walk for, we'll say it's about an hour or so, and she's, again, not being very stealthy. Following her is pretty easy now that you know what you're looking for. And you're kind of hiking off into the woods. It's cold, it's dark, it's spooky. Again, the owls are just out there hooting intimidatingly at you. And then in the distance, you see kind of a flickering of a fire or something, maybe. Do you go towards it?
We
All right, so
move stealthily.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
move stealthily.
Do you want to move stealthily because you all have a stealth stat?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, let's see them stealth rolls.
Fail.
All right, so that's 1. That's 2.
Oh.
And make sure we check it. Peter, did you check first aid, by the way, when you failed to heal me?
Oh, yeah.
So we got a 90 out of 50 failure, a 76 out of 10% failure, a 29 out of 10% failure, and a 17 out of 10% failure for stealth. So, yeah, you guys kind of crash your way into a natural clearing, and what you see there is fucked up. So, kind of in a pile is the best way of describing it. There's this body that you recognize as Marlene, and she's kind of like slumped into almost kind of like someone took off some clothing or something. And there's a tent and a fire. It looks like something just like ransacked the tent, like it's torn open or something. There's some blood on a tree next to the tent, kind of thing. Yeah, you're not sure what happened here, but it looks like something got murdered, and there's now this kind of like skin sleeve that used to be the thing. What do you do?
Let's check out the tent.
All right. You're gonna check out the tent. You're gonna search it. Don't find anything. You're real loud about not finding anything.
Nothing in here.
Yeah. 99 out of 40 fumble. All right. What next? You got this clearing. You got this kind of creepy snakeskin corpse thing. You got this blood on this tree. What you doing?
Can I search the tent?
Oh, does the blood like lead a trail off?
Nah, it's more like a splatter almost, like something got slammed up against it. But that also sounds like a forensics check.
Yay, doing it. Yay, 51 out of 70.
Yeah, so you're looking at this, and you can't tell with 100% certainty, but you've seen this a bunch of times before. It's typically a head wound. It's like someone slammed a head up against a tree or something, and it's fresh, really fresh, like maybe a few minutes old tops, fresh.
She jumped bodies.
I'm sorry. Can you run that one past me again?
The skin is there, but who was here? They're gone.
Appears she found some regular old Wisconsinite's campsite or something.
And so you believe that she has taken over the body of another person. By she, we mean it, and by it, I mean whatever.
That wasn't no old lady down there. Whatever that was down there, that wasn't an old lady. That was not an old lady.
Well, that comes as quite a shock to me that it was not, that horrible monster that we just had to deal with was not, in fact, Mr. Bauman's dead wife. Now, but you're saying it's something that you're saying it was something that was inhabiting the rotting body of Mr. Bauman's dead wife, and is now inhabiting potentially a healthy body belonging to somebody that was out here minding their own business till we woke up, whatever the hell that was, and let it run off.
That sounds about right to me.
Yep.
Well, as long as we're in consensus. Well, can I tell which way it went?
Give me a survival on that one. That's trying to find its trail.
Nope, 91 out of 30 failure.
Nah,
Right.
nothing obvious tells you where it went. There's no obvious signs of where it may have gone, though.
Can we all do a perimeter search?
Yeah, you can all search.
Yeah, I'll do survival as well. Broke even with a 60.
By the skin of your teeth. Yeah, so you do find, you're searching around a bunch, and you do find something that kind of indicates where it may have gone. And it's like a tear of like maybe a jacket or something stuck on a pricker bush. And at least it gives you a rough direction you can follow. And now that you're looking in that direction, you do see kind of something push some branches out of the way and stuff like that and kind of made its way off in that direction. Do you follow?
Is there anything in the campsite that would like identify who was the person that was there, like a backpack with a wallet or something?
Might have been, but that was a real bad search. That was a real bad search check earlier.
And we can't, somebody else can't reattempt
Someone else
it?
can check. Someone else
I
can.
think Jackal did a bad job, so I'm going to go look again.
Some Navy SEAL.
20 out of 40.
Well, now, so you could have stopped with the first search, but so 20 out of 40 gets you the success, but then the 66 out of 50 gets you a fumble. So you do find a wallet, but unfortunately, kind of as you're bending down to get it, Agent Jetlag kicks it by accident into the fire that's burning.
Ew.
So you dive in, you manage to pull it out. It's a little bit singed, and you do get a name off of it, and you find a driver's license kind of thing. It's the owner of this wallet previously was a Jack Newman. You can go to the address. It's in kind of the Eagle Creek area. You can go check that out if you want. Someone give me a search on the wallet.
I'll do that.
Yep.
Because I'm fumbling, trying to beat it out as it was on fire. But I failed.
Yeah, it's
It's 81 out of 40.
just an unfortunately burned wallet. You have the address though. You can go to if you so wish.
The address of the, like on his driver's license or whatever?
Yeah, you that's the only thing you got out of the wallet, really.
Can I have the name again so I can just write it down?
Jack Newman.
Newman.
Yep.
All right, and we have no idea which way this thing went.
No, you have a
because-
sense. Like you have the survival check. It went off in a certain direction. You can follow that direction if you so wish.
I'm inclined to follow as opposed to go to the address.
Yeah, I don't think the monster would know where this guy lives. So
What
I
type
vote
of-
follow.
So what type of speed you doing? You don't need to search this. You already know the direction you're going. Like how much effort are you putting into kind of following this thing? You moving at kind of like a comfortable but aggressive pace, or you like running after it?
I think we should kind of jog a little bit.
All right.
Aggressive,
Yeah,
but
let's put
with
some speed in.
aggressive, but not unsafe.
Sure. Yeah, give me an athletics check, everyone.
Like we want to make sure that we're covered.
Yeah.
I think I might.
All right, I failed 50 out of 30.
Failed 34 out of 30.
Success 2 out of 60.
I failed with a 97 out of 50.
All right. So, most of you start lagging behind, but Agent Jackal's getting some real good distance, and you're running through the woods. You come across the trail, and it's pretty obvious that like there's a set of boot prints going a certain direction. So you follow those, and Agent Jackal emerges into what appears to be like a hiking. Takes a while, but after a chunk of time, you kind of emerge into what you're pretty sure is like a hiking trail lead off kind of parking lot. And there is one car with the lights on, kind of revving up in the parking lot as you get there, kind of thing. The rest of you will take a couple turns to catch up. What do you do, Agent Jackal?
I'm gonna approach the car. So who has the ID on them?
They're behind you. They can't help you right now. You kind of were booking it a little bit harder than they were.
I'm gonna approach the car with my carbine sort of raised.
All right.
And do a sort of like get out of the vehicle maneuver. I give the driver a command to get out and open the door.
Yeah, you can't see the driver well. Like the headlights are aimed directly at you. You're kind of staring directly into light. But so you try to like persuade them to leave the vehicle or something.
Yep, I'm gonna kind of be walking around toward the driver's side door.
Sure. All right. So the person kind of puts the car in park and steps out. Mr. Paulson or David, is it? Whichever you would prefer. I know you're looking for some answers to things. I know things I can tell you.
Who are you?
That's a complicated answer. We'll stick with Marlene for the time being, because I think that's the version of me you're most familiar with. But tell you what, David, a little quid pro quo. You've got some questions, obviously. You've seen some things, impossible things that don't exist. And well, I obviously know impossible things. I am an impossible thing. Like I know all about these impossible things. So how about this? Between now and your friends show up, I'll answer any questions you have. And then you just let me go. It's all Clyde's fault anyway. He was trying to resurrect his dead wife. Man was stricken with grief up to the wazoo, and he did some stuff that, well, were just not smart. All types of resurrection magic he picked up back with his time with you and your horrible agency. And I got stuck here. I don't want to be here. I'm just here in this terrible dimension of yours. But I'm here, so I might as well enjoy myself. So come on, a little trade of information. You've got some questions. I've got some answers. I know things, man. I know all kinds of things.
So I'm wondering if this kind of like creates a little PTSD for me.
It very well might. You don't have a disorder for PTSD. It's more a flavor thing right now. So yeah, it's definitely. Give me a sand check actually based off that. Yeah, that's a good call. That feels accurate to the situation.
7 out of 79.
Yeah,
so.
This is definitely kind of not a comfortable conversation you're having. Like everything about this is wrong. This thing that you just kind of fought and tracked through the woods, it's kind of jovial almost. Like it's very personable. It's like, yeah, no, you found me. I got this car now. I just want to leave here, man.
So my character is an order follower. I guess maybe I'll ask, what's stopping me from shooting you in the face right now?
Well, nothing. But you may have noticed that, like, well, when there was 4 of you, I beat the shit out of all of you and then ran away into the woods. Because, well, that Marlene bitch was kind of hanging on me wrong. And well, this guy, he's great. He's new. He's fresh. He hasn't been trapped in the bottom of a tank for, God, decades. That body was terrible. This one, though, I could have real fun in this body.
The fair threat.
So come on, I don't have to beat you to a bloody pulp. We can just go our separate ways. I'll even let you ask some questions and just forget you ever saw me. No one, you got here too late. I was already gone in the car. Whoever sent you to clean up after old poor Clyde, they don't have to know. What have I actually done to you? You're the ones that attacked me, technically.
I think I'm going to take a risk take a shot at this creature.
All right, you're gonna shoot.
I'm gonna shoot.
All right.
I'm alone still.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Let's see that shot roll.
Do I get any bonus because I've been having my sights on this creature for a second here?
Yeah, I'll give you a plus 20 on it. Yeah, I'll give you a plus 20. Oh, my dude.
It's a 99 fumble.
That is a 99 fumble. You pull the trigger and the gun just makes this loud click that is a jam. And the thing that used to be Marlene kind of looks at you, raises an eyebrow as best you can tell. Like, the movements are wrong. It's still not really totally sure how humans move, so it's kind of like, really, but like a marionette almost doing the really kind of pose towards you.
Can I take another action or?
All right, so so you've taken this shot, it failed. You're gonna have to fix your gun kind of thing. It's jammed. So yeah, I'd say now that like we're back in combat, the rest of the crew is caught up. You're at the kind of edge of this clearing. You see Agent Jackal kind of like, oh shit, this gun's busted. This thing is just kind of slow walking towards him. Hasn't noticed you just yet. Jetlag, you're up first.
I probably didn't bring any of the gas with me because that would have been smart. I'll just pull out my firearm and shoot.
All right.
Fail.
That goes wide. It's 76 out of 60. Agent Jumper, you're up.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a shot.
All right.
Does it come running around the corner? Hey, I succeeded with a
That's a
15
hit.
out of 40 for 4 damage.
Very nice. Yeah, so this body seems to be a little bit squishier than the one you had previously. This one's functioning more like a human body. Feel that shot hits, it kind of tears a big chunk out of what was Marlene. It kind of looks at it like, dude, I just got this new body and you're already messing it up. All right, Agent Jotun.
All right, so I have the shotgun now.
Yep.
I'm gonna blast this thing. Well, I mean, now that I say that, it's gonna fail, but let's hope not.
We'll see.
Yay.
That hits.
17 out of 50.
That's for 7.
2d6 for 7.
So that takes a big chunk of it. Like, you managed to like blow its like we'll call it like its like abdomen away kind of thing. It's now like registered that you're there and it's pissed. But you are kind of seeing it kind of regrow itself a little bit in this body, and it takes a lunge at Agent Jack, who's fiddling with his firearm. It misses. It kind of like it slings by, it whizzes by him, kind of thing. Somehow you dodge that. Agent Jetlag, you're up.
I want to get in the car. I'm going to see if I can run him over.
That is so you'd have to move to the car. That's a distance you'd have to kind of cross aggressively to get there.
Then I will use this for a move action.
All right. So you're gonna run towards the car. Okay, cool. That means it's Agent Jumper's turn.
All right, I'm just gonna try to take another shot.
All right.
That time I missed with a 76 out of 40.
Yep. So that goes wide. Agent Jotun.
Blam.
All right. So that'll hit again for.
It's 23 out of 50 and 6 damage.
Nice. Some big damage. You've taken some major chunks out of this thing. Agent Jackal, you're gonna spend this turn to fix your gun.
Will it take one turn?
Yep. So give me a firearms roll on that to see if you manage to unjam it.
Where is the monster in relation to me right now?
It's kind of walking towards you. It tried to hit you and it missed somehow. So it's behind you. I think now it's probably more accurate.
Okay, yeah, I'll take the turn to fix the gun.
So I'm thinking this is happening in like seconds kind of thing. Like I know the combat doesn't seem like it, but this shit is moving fast as we're playing through it in real time kind of thing. So yeah, you successfully kind of unjam it so you can use it again next turn.
Okay.
With a 43 out of 60. That means it's its turn again. It's not kind of whirl on you and tries to bite at you and misses. But you are seeing its flesh kind of regenerate slightly. Agent Jetlag, you're up again.
Get in the car.
All right, give me a feels like a dexterity check, I guess. Yeah, give me a dexterity check for that. All right, so you like slide across the hood, like close the door, and you're now in the car. Very Dukes of Hazzard move. Let's see if it pays off for you. Agent Jumper, you're up.
All right, I'm going to fire again.
All right.
That is also a miss with an 82 out of 40.
Yep, goes wide. Jotun, you're up.
Fumble.
Oof.
Oh, geez.
Your
60,
gun is now
450.
jammed, so that you hear something go very wrong up in the chamber, and you'll have to spend a turn to kind of figure that one out. Agent Shackle, you're up. You have a working gun again. This thing is kind of like, again, it's missed you. It swung by you and kind of fell forward. What are you doing?
I just want to try something. I want to reach into my pocket and pull out that lighter, and I want to try to light this thing quick.
Okay.
Is that a couple moves or?
No, I'll say that's all one thing. Give me a dexterity check on that.
Failure, 80 out of 40.
Yeah, so it doesn't light, but you're clicking it kind of thing. It's weirdly hard to light all of a sudden kind of thing. All right, so it's its turn now. A little more of its skin kind of slides back on its body. It's going to try and attack Agent Jackal again. Keeps missing. All right, Agent Jetlag, you're up.
Jetlag noticed the lighter come out in the spirit of RP. Remembers that he really likes it and is kind of fixed on it for this turn and loses concentration on what he was trying to do. He's just sort of staring at it like, man, I wish I had that lighter. That is a nice lighter.
It's fair. No, you really do want that lighter. It's a very,
really want it. Like,
very nice lighter. You're reminded that lighter exists.
yeah, basically.
Good catch. All right, Jumper, you're up.
All right. In the spirit of trying something different, I'm gonna run forward and yank out my pepper spray and try to spray him in the face.
Okay.
I like it.
All right, so you gotta hit this thing just big in the face with the blast of pepper spray. It screams. It's very unhappy right now with you. Agent Jotun, you're up.
Yeah, -20 for everything it does for an hour.
Yep.
All right. Am I unjamming my gun still?
You can. You could also pull out your sidearm and try and shoot with that. Like, what are you gonna do in this section?
I hadn't considered. Yep. Okay.
You
Good
got a
call.
knife. You can rush it with the knife too, if you so wish. You could rush towards it. Yeah.
I'm not rushing it. I'm gonna
Fair.
shoot it with my Colt.
Fair.
No, I'm not. I failed at 75 out of 50.
Shot goes wide. Agent Jackal, you're up.
This time I'm gonna shoot with my carbine.
All right.
38 out of 60.
All right. So this is a lethality gun. So roll that lethality first.
Looks like. I guess how do I interpret this?
All right. So you failed. So the way lethality weapons work is they have a chance to insta-kill an enemy. And you failed the lethality roll, but you still get to do damage still. So it still does the damage of the gun. So at 65 out of a 10% lethality, you fail, but you still do a whopping 11 points of armor-piercing damage.
Right.
So this thing, your shot kind of goes center through the skull or something. It splits it open. It goes down. It's kind of writhing on the ground, and kind of it slowly kind of returns to being a corpse. But you also notice that it is kind of slowly starting to pull itself together again. Like the flesh is ever so slightly kind of regrowing at a little bit of a rate. Not fast, but it's getting there.
So is it regrowing and still moving, or like
It's not moving right now.
this thing seems down. What do you say we throw it in the trunk, take it back, burn it with the gasoline? I have a feeling our friend Clyde was up to something.
You hear no complaints from me.
Are you sure we can't just shoot it to death?
Doesn't seem to be having a permanent effect.
What if we run it over with the truck?
That old lady lived in the bottom of that septic tank for decades. I don't think a truck is going to kill this thing.
All right, let's hurry.
So before we move on, I guess, what are people's intellect scores right now?
Mine is 15, which is perceptive, is the distinguishing feature.
Sure. Yeah,
7.
so
11.
yeah.
Intelligence scores?
Yeah. So if you've got we'll say a
It's
13 or
14.
higher, if you've got 13 or higher, give me a roll for intelligence. So Agent Jotun kind of thinks there for a second with his 48 out of 75. This truck's running. It probably has a gas tank.
Jackal, can we just pop the gas tank? Can we just get the fuel out of this truck to light this thing on fire? Wouldn't that be the fastest way to do this?
That's a good call. I've got a tactical knife. Can we puncture the tank or something, or siphon some gas out? I guess I don't
Yeah.
read vehicles that well.
Yeah, you can also just like shoot bullets into the tank until it starts leaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to leave that operation up to you. Yeah, the only way I know to get gas out of a truck is with a hose, and that's somewhat unpleasant. But we don't have a hose, so anything that you think you can do, let's do it now, quick.
All right. So I guess I'm
Is
going to
there-
move, drag the regenerating corpse under the vehicle and take a shot at the tank. How's that sound?
Do it.
Hold on. So a gas tank, if I climb under a car, am I able to just see where the gas tank is?
Ish, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is it obvious that, yep, that's where the gas is?
Pretty obvious, yeah.
And what's it made out of?
Steel. But you
Okay,
can
so-
definitely stab through it if you wanted to. It'll take some effort. Yeah, so off-roading cars often have a problem where someone forgets to kind of reinforce the gas pan, or they'll go over something, it'll slam down, and a rock will puncture the bottom of it. They are surprisingly flimsy for.
Okay. I've got a knife. I think everyone else or somebody else. I have a utility knife. So does anyone else? Let's just cut open the gas. I think we can cut open the gas tank. Who's the strongest? Probably you, Jackal.
Probably.
All right. Why don't
yeah,
you?
I've got a tactical knife that'll probably jab through this tank.
Yeah. Why don't you see if you could just cut this, let it spill on that, and then we'll light it. I'm gonna turn the truck off first.
Good
It's
call.
been running. It's been running this whole time, right?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. I go and I turn the truck off.
What is this? A strength check or a dexterity check?
That's a strength check.
Can
I'm
I
gonna
see if like the truck has any like road flares?
Give me a luck check on that one.
Sure.
Yeah, you murder the hell out of that gas tank with a critical.
Think I've done it before or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've pulled the body under the car. Gas is leaking all over it.
Yep.
How are we gonna light this thing?
Well, don't we have a lighter?
You sure
Yeah.
do have a one.
Well, in battle, I tried to light our victim here on fire, and it didn't seem to work. I can try it again. Does anybody else have a different lighter?
Let me see.
I don't think I wrote lighter on my inventory.
Yep. Nope. I don't.
And with a so what do people firearms score?
I've got a 60.
40.
50.
40.
All right, so the one with the 60 knows you can start a gas fire with a firearm. You basically put the gun in the oil or in the gas, and you fire, and the spark as it jettisons can often light the gasoline on fire.
Okay, so I should just know that.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to tell everyone to stand back. And is this vehicle going to explode once this thing gets going?
No, the gas will have to burn. So a misconception about gas is that it's explosive. The fumes are explosive, but gas just on the ground is flammable. I know it's a weird sounding distinction, but it's actually a very important one, where lighting a gallon of gas on fire is actually A, surprisingly hard, and B, not actually that dangerous in the grand scheme of things. It's if you have like half the tank being full of gas, that's when it explodes.
Right.
But like just this on the ground will just kind of light itself up, and it will follow the gas.
All right, I'm going to light this thing using my carbine.
All right. Yeah, so you get down there, you pull the trigger. Give me a firearms check. It
93.
still works, but you burn yourself a little bit. Take roll a 1d4. You take 2 burn damage from being down there, kind of thing. Like it startles you or something and goes up faster than you thought it would.
God damn it. Ah.
All right, so kind of as the flames are starting to get back to the body, you hear it start talking to you again. I knew things, agents. We could have been friends, but no, you had to burn me. This is how you wanted to play it? Really? Really, after all the fun we've had? You know nothing, you idiots. Nothing. I know everything. And it's way past when this thing should have been able to talk. It's still kind of just insulting your intelligence and insisting it knows all types of things about you. Like the car eventually it sets itself on fire and kind of goes up, and you still you can see the fact the body has burned itself down to basically just like carbonized bones, and still it's somehow taunting you. Eventually it just kind of hisses out and stops. And The car's on fire at this point. Like it's going up. A lot of smoke coming off of this. What do you do?
It stopped talking, you said?
It stops talking eventually, kind of thing. But like it goes on for way too long for something on fire talking. Like it burns for a solid like 10 minutes. It's still just laying into you from underneath the car, kind of thing.
But it has now stopped.
Yeah, it's now stopped.
Let's get out of here.
Job well done.
Well, we need to clean up our brass and
What do we do
get rid of
about
any other-
what do we do about Mr. Newman?
Mr. Newman tragically died in a car accident.
This freak car accident.
Yeah, okay.
So
Let's
what do you
get out of
say?
here.
We find all of our bullet shells, Jumper?
Yeah, I mean, we don't need the cops coming by and asking us, why our casings roll around the tragic death of Mr. Newman here.
Fair enough.
So I guess on that topic, like there's the topic of there's the Marlene corpse out there, and there's all the shots you took back at Clyde's place.
Indeed.
I think let's go back to our original idea, burn it all down. Drag
Yeah,
her
let's-
corpse into that cabin and burn it to the ground.
Good
There
call.
was
I
There
like
were-
that idea.
there were more gas tanks back in that shed, right?
Correct. Yep.
Let's give it a shot.
All right,
so
who's
we're gonna-
volunteering to carry that sack of skin back to the cabin from the campsite.
I think that our sturdy young security guard would be a shoo-in for that job.
Yes, sir. I think maybe I'll cut off a piece of the tent and make a little pouch or something.
Sure.
Should we bring the tent with us?
You could also just toss the tent into the fire.
Yeah, toss it into the campfire there.
Okay, so just so that everything makes sense here, Mr. Newman somehow burned to death beneath his truck, and his tent also somehow ended up in the campfire. Totally different location.
Whose tent? What tent?
I like to clean up his tent, his campsite, and just leave it as he tragically was probably trying to fix something on his car and get caught on fire and he couldn't get away.
Let's drag the tent with us.
You have some car trouble. If you go into the car, something bad happens, fire happens. It's tragic. What happens all the time, right?
Let's drag the tent with us.
Yeah.
Burn it all.
Let's burn it in the cabin. There's nothing to say that there wasn't a tent in the cabin. The poles are fiberglass. I'm not confident that this is going to look okay.
Good call. Well, we'll clean up his campsite as if he packed up or was never there, and burn it all back at the cabin.
And I guess we have to hold on to his wallet or walk back to the truck. I still have his wallet.
It's not an invincible wallet. You can burn that other places. Like destroying a wallet's pretty easy.
But if they find it in the cabin,
Again, like fully destroying that thing is definitely within the abilities of your agents with a gallon of gasoline kind of thing.
all right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I appreciate the dedication to the cover up. You're definitely overthinking the cover up a little bit right now. Like, yeah, just I would have been fine. Like, yeah, no, throw the entire contents of the campsite into the fire. It's like, oh, yeah, this may have been a tent at one point, but we have no way of knowing whose tent it was. Like, no one's gonna be sitting there being like, hey, this is Jack Newman's tent. I recognize that tent anywhere, even though it's been through a fire and partially burned up. That's suspicious. Like, the chances of somebody even finding it's relatively low before it fully deteriorates. It's the body. Yeah, you've handled the body, the important part of it pretty well. Where it's like, yeah, no, like it's under the car. Like there's a logical through part of the idea. Like, yeah, so this is what happened. Unlikely, but it happens. Like it's possible.
So, are we going to decide to keep anything for Delta Green, like the
That
lighter,
is
the
that is your decision. So yeah, so you back at the cabin, you do have that lockbox or the locker
I would
full of
just say-
stuff.
Yeah, I would just say gather the lockbox. Everything
I
that was
agree.
in it, take it to them.
All right, I'm going to chuck the lighter back in there too.
No,
Yeah, no, you can't do that. It's a really cool lighter.
that's my favorite lighter.
What do you got with that lighter, Jet Lag?
I
Let
just
it go.
I like it. It's just a lighter. Why can't I have it?
No, Jackal was right. There's something spooky about it. It's going back to Miss Pine.
I'll always remember you, lighter.
All right, so you pack up the stuff. I'm gonna say like Jackal can't get rid of the lighter. Like he physically can't bring himself to throw the lighter back in the crate, kind of thing.
Oh, I
Jackal.
really too.
Whoever's holding it, like you physically, like you're holding, you're like, no, this is a really cool lighter. I can't get rid of this. It's such a cool lighter.
Maybe I don't even bring it up again. I just leave
Yeah.
it in my pocket.
Yeah, it's a really cool lighter.
This is the one ring of lighter.
Not good.
All right, so you take the box, you burn the house, et cetera, et cetera. That's the plan.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
cool. All right, so you have been told to kind of regroup back at that office within 48 hours. You could just head there, or you're gonna call Miss Pine. You're just gonna go there straight away.
Well, it's night at this point.
It'll take you like 4 to 6 hours to get back to Milwaukee from here, at least. Up, you spent a lot of time in the woods. Like you spent a lot of time. So like we hand waved it some, but like cleaning up the crime scene and make sure there was no casings, that'll take time. Like finding all the bullets, making sure that's fine. Like you have a high enough forensic skill. I'm not going to make you go through all that stuff. Like it takes a measurable amount of time, kind of thing. Like the sun is coming up, you are on the clock, kind of thing. You're not under pressure to do so, but time does progress. It's not an instantaneous thing. So we'll say by the time you kind of have this all dealt with, it's like, well, 8 a.m., 9 a.m.
Sure. Well,
All right.
how much time do we have then to get back? I mean, we might just have to hit the road.
How much driving you got in you, Jackal?
Somebody else take a leg.
Yeah, tell you what, how about we I'm gonna look up a weather forecast on my phone. Any precipitation or anything?
Nah, seems to be okay.
Yeah, I think the roads are fine. We can rotate this one.
All right.
Need to get a little bit of sleep.
Let's power through and get back to Milwaukee.
Maybe stop for some coffee or something on the way. The best kind of upper state coffee possible from a gas station.
I think there's
Real
a
chewy on the tongue.
espresso bar.
Yeah.
Keep that in the recording.
Radlander's actually nice, so yeah, I'm sure there's a nice cafe there.
Yeah. All right, but so you head back to Milwaukee.
Yep, and we rotate. Do you want us to do different? Do you want us to?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you're not as on the clock as you guys think you are. Like you've handled the situation. The family's not going to find anything hypothetically, and if they do, it burned down. Oh no, Dad was crazy and terrible. Shocker.
I call into work again.
Yeah. All right. So you arrive back at the post office. The big brick-looking man's kind of outside. He sees you, kind of nods you through, and follows you into the room. Miss Pine's at the table again. Running a little bit late, but you're back, agents.
I had somebody look at my ribs.
Kind of walk it off.
Okay.
You got plenty. You got time to bleed on your actual agency's time. I need to know what happened out there.
Yeah, Clyde got into some bad stuff.
Care to elaborate?
Well, he kind of went off the deep end when his wife died, and he tried to resurrect her, and it didn't go as planned.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say this is what we were afraid of, but this is what, maybe not that exactly, but this is a thing that happens with older agents. Yeah, especially back from that time period, they've picked up some things that, well, as they get older, they think they can use, and using these things is quite bad. Did you find anything specific of note? I guess any artifacts of any kind that deserve a special interest?
I mean, we found a Foot Locker. It's got a lot of stuff in it. There's like uniform, knives.
There was
Hair, teeth.
Yeah, hair, teeth, crazy stuff. Baby teeth.
Photos. Photos of what?
Good. Of him and some like Nazis in Vietnam.
or somewhere in Southeast Asia, we think.
I need you to be very specific. Are you saying pictures of him in Vietnam with Nazis, not him with Nazis in Vietnam?
Like they'd captured them. That's what it looks like.
Interesting. I didn't realize he was involved in that. Good to know. Man was a bit of a living legend, I guess, based off that time era. None of your concern, though. It's long done business. Anything else?
Yeah,
I
we
mean-
got a knife made out of a person's leg, we think.
And
Got some weird shit carved on it.
we didn't touch it.
Yeah, I was
Probably
hoping you
smart.
had people.
Nope, fair enough.
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
we'll put it in a green box for safety. Good call. Anything else?
I mean,
Anything in his
other
apartment?
than his. Oh, and his. I mean, I'll pull out the keychain. And I mean, this had the keys to the cabin and everything. To the septic tank where he was keeping his possessed wife.
I'm sorry. His what? He was keeping a what?
His wife. Like I said, he tried to resurrect her and it went wrong.
Wait. I thought this meant like something. It didn't go well. There was a thing in a septic tank that was his ex-wife, or that was his wife that died of cancer.
Yeah. That was his wife. Well, it was something wearing his wife's body.
Interesting. Do we need to have a secondary containment, or has that been handled?
Oh, that's been handled. It got loose.
It what?
It got loose. It
We
was a
tracked
little
it down.
lady. And yeah, and it possessed someone else.
Yep.
And then we killed it. Or well,
Mhm.
we incapacitated it. The only thing that really killed it was fire.
Did you
So we
see it jump bodies?
no, I mean there was no other bodies around it. We put it under a truck and lit the truck on fire.
It moved from the body of the of his deceased wife to the body of a very alive, or at one time alive, camper, lone camper, by the name of Jack Newman.
Have you tied off that loose end? Is there a explanation for, I'm assuming, based on the fact that you're all here, Mr. Newman's passing?
Yeah, I mean it was a tragic accident. See, apparently something punctured his gas tank, and he climbed under there to try to fix it. But then his truck caught on fire, and he burned up underneath the truck.
Acceptable. That ties off that loose end. Anything else?
We
Very
also
tragic.
we threw his effects into the cabin belonging to Mr. Bauman and burned it down.
Oh, you burned the cabin. Interesting. Not a bad call. Is there any risk that the family will locate the cabin?
Oh, sure. But I don't know. Did we take the purchase? Did we take those documents?
Yeah, we
I'd
did
say you
that.
did. Yeah.
Well, assuming that the state and or local authorities are aware of who owns the property, when it is discovered that what was once a cabin is now a burnt foundation, stands to reason that they would be able to contact the family, inform them of the existence of the cabin and of the ownership of the property. I suppose if it changed hands through a cash purchase, which is what these documents indicate, it is possible that the government is unaware that he is the proper owner. But at some point, they would get in touch with the former owner, I would imagine, unless he's just dead, which is entirely possible. Yeah, there's a good there is a chance. It's not that's not something we can just explain away. Exactly. That's
Imperfect
not
but acceptable. We can make sure the situation gets swept under the rug. It sounds like he at least was keeping up that part of his wits. Making sure it was off the books and a bit hidden away from the world. We can handle that situation. Anything else?
so we got the trunk full of all the scary stuff. There was a Nazi uniform in there that had been much damaged, presumably from the whatever sort of Southeast Asian incident that was photographed. That would make the most sense. We had a frightening lighter of some kind that was in the box. I don't know if that made its way back into the box, but it should.
What do you mean you don't know if the lighter made its way back into the box? Where is the lighter?
Not on me.
It's in my pocket, ma'am.
Put the lighter on the table.
I don't want to, ma'am.
I'm going to need to insist that you put the lighter on the table.
Yes, ma'am. I put the lighter on the table.
So give me a will check. Yeah, do that power roll. So with a great amount of effort, you managed to put the lighter on the table. Like it feels like it's almost sticking to your hand as you kind of lift your hand away to kind of leave it on the table. Like it does. You do not want to leave it there, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, now jet lag.
Jetlag grabs the lighter.
Give me a will. Give me a power check first. So you do stop yourself. Like it takes all of your self-control. Maybe like even grabbing a chair or something to stop yourself from moving, but you do stop yourself grabbing the lighter. Give me a sanity roll though.
Sure is pretty though.
See that sand roll.
For whom?
For jet lag. Sorry. Yeah. So no damage taken, but like you just kind of hear it in your mind, just being like, "We'll never forget you if you never forget us. Find us." Or like again, the lighter is definitely not talking to you, but it's definitely talking to you. And Miss Pine kind of puts a piece of paper, like a notepad on top of it, slides it across the table, and like kind of towards her, kind of thing away from you. Anything else?
He had a bunch of pictures and documents pertaining to various white supremacist groups with the word, I read it as Thule, the Swedish brand of bike racks, roof racks, luggage, what have you. But everyone else seems to think it might be Thule. He wrote that on there himself with no further explanation. But he had various pictures of, like Klan rallies and stuff.
Interesting. We will take that under advisement. I wonder if he's speaking of the Thule Society or something interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering.
Don't worry yourself with this. Adequate job, agents. You're dismissed. Go back to normal lives, I suppose. We'll be in touch.
Yeah, we'll try.
Yay!
Yeah. So no. Oh no, we're not quite done just yet. We gotta do home scenes still. All right. So it's been a pretty chaotic 48 hours for all of you. So you disperse. You go back to the airport. You check your bags. You go home, kind of thing. And you arrive back at normal life. We'll say you kind of arrive back early evening for wherever you're trying to go to, maybe a little bit later, a little bit earlier, depending on your time zone. So let's talk about home scenes real quick. Home scenes are your touch of normalcy in this very strange, esoteric game. And they kind of break down to a couple different categories of what you want them to be. They basically boil down to you can kind of research the unnatural, you can train a skill, you can kind of get back to nature to kind of blow off some steam. You can try and fix some bonds if a bond of yours has taken some damage, or you can kind of seek psychiatry help of some kind. Anyone got idea what they want to do first?
I need psychiatry help.
So let me give you all the options, I guess, before we start going down the psychiatry path. Because psychiatry comes with its own set of risks. Because you can be totally honest, or you can lie through your teeth and be vague about it. And one of those is definitely kind of the recommended Delta Green approach, and unfortunately, one of them's also more effective. Let's make sure I'm saying these all correct when I get to it. So your options are indeed kind of fulfill responsibilities, which is you kind of hang out with your bonds. You can go back to nature. You can establish new bonds. You can go to therapy. You can improve a skill or stat. You can kind of pursue a personal motivation. You can go into special training, or you can stay on the case. Like you can continue to kind of pursue leads depending on what you're going into, kind of thing. So what are people thinking? So Jumper, you're gonna go see some therapist?
Will that help me get sanity points back?
Yes. Back to nature is also a less risky way of getting sanity points back. So I guess to break down the difference, for therapy, you can kind of recover 1d6, but there's an extra set of rolls for it. If you go back to nature, you can do a 1d4, but it's a little bit different. Basically, one of them you have control over, one of them you don't. For back to nature, you're going to roll a sand test, and if you succeed, you'll regain. If you fail, you don't lose anything unless you fumble. If you go to therapy, you have to get lucky a little, depending on how you go about it.
I mean, like, I just don't see Aubrey, like, being the first thing is, like, I'll go to nature. Like,
Yeah.
Therapy, that's what you do when you're going crazy.
Yeah, no.
You see a woman, like...
I'm not telling you which way to go. I'm just kind of giving you all the options to recover sanity. If you try to do therapy?
Like, yeah, because that would be the, like, normal thing to do after you see a old woman crawl out of her skin and murder somebody. I mean, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah. So
Right.
how truthful are you gonna be? Like, you gonna kind of spell it all out, or you gonna kind of be a little wishy-washy, kind of speak in
I'm gonna be
metaphor and abstract?
wishy-washy, and I'm gonna try to tie this into like I'm having dreams, and I think it's because of the when I was in Iraq, embedded with the soldiers, and now I'm seeing old women crawling out of wells that eat people, and
Sure. All right. So give me a luck
that's how I'm
roll.
gonna go back. All right, so what kind of roll is this?
Luck.
Oh, luck. Well, it's better than hey, succeed.
Yeah. So you cover 1d4. So roll 1d4. So you recover all
Ooh.
4. Congrats.
Yeah, that only gets me back up to
Yes. Sandy is a precious
out of
resource.
60. Started with 60 at the beginning of this game.
I
Now up to 51.
the game is a slow spiraling descent to madness. All right, so let's role play this a little bit. So correctly, Aubrey, I need you to go over this again. You're having dreams about what?
Well, okay, so like there was old women that I saw over there, and it's like that. Like there's an old woman, she's in a well, and she's calling for help. But as soon as you go to help her, she like comes out of her skin and tries to eat, and she eats people. And it's always like every time I try to help her, but as soon as I do, I know I shouldn't go help her. But as soon as I go to help her, she tries to eat me.
Well, Aubrey, I think this extends from a very common feeling in your journalistic work. The idea that kind of to help is to be consumed by your work. This tracks, I suppose, kind of more psychobabble like that. You feel a little bit better after you leave, kind of thing. But the reality of what you saw still weighs on you feel better, but not kind of as perfect as you did maybe before the mission. All right, who's next? Agent Jetlag. Let's do you. What do you do? What is your home scene? What are you doing?
My relationships are still pretty good. Wasn't gone that long. I didn't get hurt or go insane. So I'm just gonna maybe try to develop some. Maybe can I do some unnatural training or something like that? This
You
was kind
can.
of
You
weird.
most certainly can if you so wish.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
So how do you want to go? How do you want to go about doing that? I guess?
Do I have options? I would probably just start by like Googling stuff. 'Cause I
That's
don't
not
know.
going to be effective, I guess. So, yeah, because that's just kind of going to be bullshit on the internet at that point. You could have like maybe kept the tapes from the. You could like request the tapes from the green box or something like that, or the box that you found inside of Clyde's cabin if you want
Oh
that.
yeah, and we have the hard drive too.
You do have the hard drives. That would be so the hard drives would be a stay on the case.
Okay,
How many bonds do you have again?
4.
Okay, yes, I was gonna say you could also do the establish new bonds, but you don't need to do that. So, what's the plan?
Let's try to get the video.
It's not video; it's audio recordings.
Oh,
So
audio
audio
recordings.
recordings.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's get the audio recordings.
yeah. So you successfully get that. So you're gonna try and you're gonna kind of pursue the unnatural at that point.
Yeah.
All right. So what you find it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's kind of an old Southern Baptist, like snake ceremony, Christian service kind of thing, and it's weird. Like it's lots of screaming and snakes and all that stuff. That's typical fare. The issue is, it sounds like someone in it has been actually attacked by the snakes. Like they are the victim of the snakes. They've been bitten or something. Like they're screaming, there's cursing, there's like no one's helping them. They're kind of like almost like being bitten by the snakes is a good thing, which doesn't kind of track. But kind of like but the one that kind of leaps out at you as part of all of this is that you hear, like I've repeated through the entire thing, you hear like praise to Saint Yig, the scaled redeemer, the blessed serpent, kind of as part of this ceremony. It's long, like it's a lot of audio recording to go through. So yeah, give me roll sanity. All right, so you pass. You don't take any necessary damage from that, but you do train in unnatural. So roll a 1d4.
All right.
Because I had to roll an 8 on that. All right, so add 2 to your unnatural skill.
All right.
Now, so as you do that, you may notice something happens to your max sanity.
Okay, it went down by 2 points.
Knowing the unnatural is damaging to your psyche.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, so
for everyone else, I went from 99 to 97 in my.
should have been more of a reduction on that. So Yeah. Oh, you should have changed your 99 to whatever it was previously. Well, so did you lose the sanity of this game or no? I can't remember.
I did not.
Yeah. So what's your current sanity points?
85.
All right. So yeah, your new max is 85 minus that unnatural. What went down by?
Oh, is this where there's an error in the spreadsheet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, I have to fix
I
that.
thought I found where to fix that last time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
you
go over
did.
the attributes and abilities. It's the one drawback to roll 20. So while he's fixing that, Yoden or Jackal, who wants to go next?
Jackal will go.
All right, what do you want to do?
I think I want to establish a new bond since I have one.
It's not a bad call, given that you are who you are.
And I guess I think I'd like to try to maybe establish a bond with my crew at work or something like that. My
Sure.
team of security guards.
Who are you approaching? Like a friend, like a colleague, like a person in other department? Like what are you going after? I guess like who is this person?
Well, this will be maybe a small group of coworkers to get along with.
But is it in the security force? I guess, or is it kind of just a general person at the facility?
In the security force.
Okay.
We're gonna go to the target range and practice shooting.
Sure.
Maybe get to know each other a little bit more. Something I've struggled with.
Yeah, give me a charisma ×5 check. So the normal charisma check for roll 20. Success! It goes well. So you do indeed make a new bond. What is this bond's name?
Work buddies.
It's just general work buddies.
What do you think? Advise. I mean,
Zach, Carlos, and
sure.
Chris.
You could be just general work buddies as well. You're bonding with your coworkers, I guess. And I forgot to mention, if you do something other than take care of obligations, subtract 1 from any of your your bonds.
Other bonds. So subtract one from the other one.
Yep. In your case, just subtract 1 for the therapy one. Subtract 1 from that for the kind of pursuing the unnatural. Subtract 1 from one of your other bonds as well, because you are technically neglecting that bond.
Just one bond? Not all?
Just 1, and just 1 point.
I'll just say like work friend Carlos or something like that.
Sure.
So just
Alright,
one
so-
bond. Not all of them.
No, just 1.
And do I start it at 7 or it looks like
No, it is half of your charisma, rounding up.
All right, a little more well-rounded.
Yeah, so let's play this out some. How do you approach Carlos?
So maybe after taking a couple days off, come back. Carlos asked me how my time off was.
Yeah, you go anywhere, man? We didn't see you for a couple of days here. Going on a trip or something?
Yeah, I got an uncle in Milwaukee. Just kind of went out there and reconnected. His health isn't so good, so
Yeah, that sucks. I know it's like to have sick family. That's the cheese and beer city, right?
that's right. That's right. By the way,
Is there actually that much cheese and beer there? Like, I know they make lots of jokes about it, but like, is it really that?
Well, considering that's all we did with my uncle.
I get why your uncle has health problems, man.
Yeah, straight to his liver. Anyway, why don't we go shooting sometime? I know you're pretty sharp with the carbine.
Yeah, you're ex-military of some kind, right?
Yeah, that's right. You could say that.
Oh, I was Army Rangers. What were you?
I was a SEAL, actually.
Damn, you got me beat on that one. Impressive.
I don't know. You give me a run for my money.
Yeah, so you guys go off and have your bro shooting range experience. You do make that new bond. You made a new friend successfully.
I was actually, at the risk of being redundant, going to train in my firearms skill.
That's fine.
I'm going to do that by going to a gun range and trying to shoot my practicing my accuracy and things like that, while remembering that if I were a better shot,
Yeah.
there'd be a camper that was still alive.
All right.
Done. So how's that work?
You roll the stat. You roll the stat you want to do. All right. Sorry, you actually want to fail these things. So you failed, so you get to add 1d10 to that.
To that stat?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, but now I up it from 50 to 51?
Yep.
Okay. Now, because I failed shots during the battle, do I check the firearm stat or not?
Okay. To reiterate this, every single thing you failed, you should have checked the box next. And I believe I wasn't keeping track of that while we were going, so either you can kind of scroll back through our log or remember as best you can, and it doesn't like I'm not gonna be a real hard ass on this topic, but yeah, whenever you fail something, make sure you check it because now it's time to update your characters. It's time to roll those modifications to make you better at being agents.
So how do we roll them? If
so-
we fail,
Yeah, so in real life, you just roll a 1d4 to do that. In the case of Roll20's case, at the bottom of the spreadsheet, there's an update button below the skill section. Press that
I
update
see.
button.
Woo!
Nice.
Yeah, so all your skills have been statted by increased by a small amount. That is there's no traditional leveling up system in Delta Green. It's as you kind of guys got a bit of a taste to it. The balancing is a little bit different from this than other RPGs. So yeah, we're done. If you guys we're just doing table talk at this, if you got any questions you want clarified or some of the rules explained, or just kind of want to ask about how some of the situation went, now's your chance.
I'll say just quickly, thank you. This was awesome. I really liked
Yeah,
it.
Delta
Yeah,
Green.
this is a lot of fun.
I love running Delta Green. It's one of my it is hands down my favorite game out there at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I just like the fact that I got a chance to play this. Never had a chance to play it.
Yeah.
And I've heard people talk about it, and I liked it.
Yeah, we're not
Are we gonna
quite
do a
done with it
second
yet.
session?
Oh, we have at least a couple more sessions. You have a mini campaign lined up. I hope I dropped
Nice.
some hints at where it might be going. Yeah, I'm not going to leave you high and dry after just one session on this.